Slovak Prime Minister Robert Fico has been shot in what officials are calling an assassination attempt. On Wednesday evening, the Slovak Defense Minister said Fico had been in surgery for 3.5 hours and was fighting for his life. Fico was reportedly hit in the stomach, arm, and leg. The Interior Minister says he was shot 5 times. The alleged assailant has been detained by the police. The ministers tell reporters it was a politically motivated attack. Fico was wounded as he left a government meeting in the central town of Handlova. Sarah Karvova, a freelancer journalist from Bratislava, says there has been some tension in the Slovak parliament recently. Speaking to the BBC after the Ministers of Defense and Interior address, the media accused the media of sowing hatred. She gives some background of the political situation in the country. Yesterday there was supposed to be a protest about the public broadcaster. There have been protests against the coalition government and against many new laws that have been approved in the parliament, she says. She adds that this is one of the most horrific attacks on a European leader in recent history. The defense minister says Prime Minister Robert Fico valued fundamental principles and that it is our role to stop this in relation to what has happened over the last few weeks. I can't find the words to describe what we are witnessing today, adds Kalinak. He says he continues talking about the situation Slovakia came to be in the recent weeks, 30 years after the foundation of Slovakia. Stoke says that he is asking for society to calm down. He says he personally believes that there are people who should take a lot in the mirror for contributing to this situation. Stoke adds that the assassination attempt was politically motivated and the decision was born right after the presidential election. After blaming hate speech, Matthews Sutas Stoke goes on to say that they will do everything in their power to protect their constitutional officials who could be the target of such attacks, including journalists and public figures. Please calm down, let's not spread hate, he says. Esther continues with a plea to all citizens saying we can't respond to hate with hate. Matthew Sutas, Esther, Minister of Interior, says the incident today was an attack on democracy and the state itself. Defense Minister Robert Kalinak goes on to say that any detailed medical information will be available later on. The situation is really complicated now. Kalinak continues saying he would like to thank the emergency services, doctors, nurses and specialists for fighting for the Prime Minister's life. He says Prime Minister Fico is still in surgery and that the situation is really bad. Kalinak adds there is no good news at the moment. Robert Kalinak from the Ministry of Defense says Slovak Prime Minister Robert Fico is still in surgery and fighting for his life following being shot several times. Kalinak adds his health is really serious and the situation is bad. Police, we are expecting to hear from the Slovak police who are about to hold a press conference outside the hospital where Prime Minister Robert Fico is being treated. Since before Slovakia became an independent country in 1993, Robert Fico has been a mainstay of Slovak politics, but in recent years, the 59-year-old's foreign policy has drawn criticism from the West as have his increasingly pro-Russian views been at odds with those of fellow NATO member countries. President Biden condemned the horrific act of violence and said the US embassy is in close touch with the Slovakian government and is ready to assist. Russian President Vladimir Putin said There can be no justification for this monstrous crime, and in a telegram to Slovak President Zuzana Kapitova, said Robert Fico was a courageous and strong-minded man. UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres, the spokesperson, said the Secretary General strongly condemns the shocking attack carried out today. The European Council's President Charles Michel said nothing can never justify violence for such attacks. Posting on X, French President Emmanuel Macron strongly condemns the attack on Robert Pizzo and said his thoughts and solidarity are with him, his family, and the people of Slovakia. Italian Prime Minister Giorgia Meloni is in deep shock at the inward cowardly attack and expressed the strongest condemnation of all forms of violence and attacks on the cardinal principles of democracy. President, as we've been reporting, Robert Kalinak, Slovak Minister of Defense, and Mateusz Suter, State Minister of Interior, have given a news conference updating the media on Prime Minister Robert Fico's state of health. They also spoke strongly about the hatred sown by the media and people railing at other people on social media. Robert Fico's first few months as Prime Minister have proved highly contentious politically. He returned to power in Slovakia after elections last September at the head of a populist nationalist coalition. In January, he halted military aid to Ukraine and last month pushed through plans to abolish public broadcaster RTVs. Thousands of Slovaks have protested against the proposed reform of the public broadcaster in recent weeks. However, a planned opposition-led demonstration was called off on Wednesday as news of the shooting emerged. Parliament was sitting at the back of the attack, and Slovak media reported that a party colleague of Fico's shouted at opposition MPs, accusing them of stoking the attack. President-elect Peter Pellegrini, who is a political ally of Pizzo's, said he was horrified to hear of the attack and he also blamed the shooting on recent political divisions, describing the attack as an unprecedented threat to Slovak democracy. He said people did not have to agree on everything, but there were many ways to express disagreement democratically and legally. This news from BBC. Please subscribe to our channel. Thanks for watching.